Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette. You guys requested me do a tutorial with this whenever I showed it to you in my Pretty Palettes I Don't Use video. So today I'll be using this one, and first I applied my concealer and I'm applying a little bit of tape to keep the edge really clean, and I'm using the blue color in here. This one's called Busted, and I am packing it on my eyelid and crease area. I am going to start blending it up, but slowly, and I did not set my concealer, just so you know, so it is on a wet base, and I'm going to slowly start to blend out the edge of it. Now I'm going to go into the light brown shade in here. This one's called Shh. And I'm going to start blending out the edge little by little. This one for sure will not blend it out on its own because it is very, very light. But I am going to go back and forth between the shades to blend out the edge of it. Next, I'm going to go in with the blue one, and I am very, very lightly and slowly going up to start fading out the edge. I was going to say delete. Fading out the edge, and I don't want to go up too high with the dark blue, so I will go back into the brown, which is right now, and I'm going to blend that out a little bit more. Now back to the blue, and I had some concealer on it. I was like, great, but I was like, okay, let me try to hide this, and I just kept going. I went over it. By the way, my brush is pink because it is stained from the James Charles palette whenever I use it. So now I'm going to do my cut crease, and I'm using the Huda Beauty concealer. This one has good coverage, but you can still see the blue underneath, and by the way, this blue shade stained my eye for sure, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so now I'm going to use the silver shade, and that one's called Power Cut, and I'm going to use my Mario Badescu spray because it was a little too loose and it wasn't wanting to stick on very good and as shiny as I wanted it. So I'm going to apply that on the inner part of my cut crease and all the way, kind of like a little bit more than halfway out. Then I'm going to go in with the dark brown shimmer in here, which is called Trickery, and apply that on the outer edge of the cut crease and blend it into the silver one. I'm just going to use the silver to start blending out the little line there. And now I'm going to go back into the blue one and use that on the outer part of the cut crease and blend it in. This one is such a pretty blue. It's one of my favorite tones in this palette. It just looks so good. And like I was saying, it looks really nice, but just remember that it is going to stain your eyes. And also my brush is hot pink. I think I already said that. It got stained with the hot pink shade from the James Charles palette. It hasn't gone away. I don't know why. So now I'm using my little brush and I'm just blending it out. I didn't add any more color or anything. And right here I'm just adding a little bit more silver because I was feeling like it needed some. And I'm going back into the blue to carve out my cut crease. So now I'm just going to remove the tape. You see it leaves a nice clean line, and I'm going to remove the fallout. Now on the bottom I'm going to use the pretty green in here. This one is called Potion. It's a very unique, pretty green. And I'm going to use my Urban Decay pencil. This one's called Double Life. And it is a shimmery brown shade. It's like kind of orangey brown. And now I'm taking my brown shade in here, the dark one called Mojo, and blending out the eyeliner on the bottom, or like smoking it out. And I'm using my matte eyeliner by NYX, and I'm going to create a pretty thick wing. And I'm going to curl my eyelashes, put some mascara on, which I am using the Superfan mascara, and apply my falsies. These are the Allura Light by House of Lashes. I got these from Ulta. And now I'm using my Too Faced lip balm and applying my serum. Again, this is the second time that I apply it. And I'm applying that all over my face. And now I'm using the Too Faced Hangover RX to not only moisturize but also prime my face. Now I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution foundation. I was looking at it. I was like, why does it say concealer on the little picture that I put? No, it says conceal and define. It is the foundation, but my beauty blender, it was drying up. I don't know. The water just evaporated. I guess maybe, I don't know. It's kind of hot in here. It was like kind of warm inside. So it just completely dried on me. So I went ahead and I applied a little bit more foundation. You see, I was like, why isn't it wet? I started applying more foundation because it absorbed it all. And now I'm going to start blending that out again because my foundation was looking pretty patchy. Also, the lighting, I am loving it in this video. I feel like you can see the true color of my skin, my face, my eyeshadow, just pretty much everything to me looks true to color. Let me know what you think about it. And then for concealer, I'm going to also use the Makeup Revolution one. This one's the super size. Now I'm going to take my CoverGirl powder and set my under eye as well. My under eye, like I only have one. My under eyes and the rest of my face. Alright, so now for contouring, I'm using the Wet n Wild contour palette. This one really is bringing back some color to my face. It was looking like all flat, all one color. And then for bronzer, I'm using one of my favorites. This is by Nars. It is Laguna Bronzer. And I'll apply this everywhere that I applied the contouring shade. But this one brings some warmth back into my skin and it makes it look much better. I'm going to clean out the line, the edge of the bronzer contour area just a little bit with the loose powder. And then this blush is by Sigma. It is, I'll put the name in the description box. I don't want to mess it up, but it is like a dark reddish pink shade. It is so nice. It's a neutral tone, very pretty. And then I'm applying a little bit of bronzer around my nose and cleaning up the loose powder that I have here. Next, I'm using the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara on the lower lash line because it is nice and buildable. And then for highlight, I'm using the one in this palette. This is the Dose of Colors Mickey Mouse palette, and I love the highlighter in here. So I was like, I need a very glowy highlighter. Which one do I want to use? And I was looking at my highlighting drawer, and I was like, nope, I want to use the one in the Mickey Mouse palette because it is so bright. I'm also applying that same highlighter on the brow bone and on the inner corner of my eyes. Look at how glowy it looks. It is just beautiful. One of my favorite highlighters. They need to make it separately. And then for the lips, I'm using this one by Kylie Cosmetics. This one is called Basic. And I am really, really liking it. This was the first time that I used it. I wanted to try it out for the day and just see how I like it. And I will have a video on all the lipsticks that I got from her from Ulta now that they're selling it there. And I really like this one so far. This one has a velvet finish to it. And then to set everything, I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is the mini version of it. And that completes the look, you guys. Thank you so much for watching it. Let me know if you like this tutorial and if you like using this palette. I really like it, especially this blue. And again, thank you so much for watching. I will see you on my next one. Bye.